What's up, everybody? Today I will be showing you a little bit on how I go about painting a whole vehicle. Hope that you learned something, and yeah, so hopefully you enjoy this. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to blow the car off really well. I just put it in here, and then I'm going to put some wheel covers on it, alright? As you can see, there's paper all underneath there, foam tape, there's paper underneath in here. That way we can kind of seal everything. Seal it in the way of if there's any loose dirt inside there, then we'll be able to control that a bit more. So that's super important. And I just blew it off once over. Now I'm going to wash it, and then we'll tack it and blow it again. I'm going to start cleaning the roof. 2 rags and 2 rags. 1 to wipe and 1 to dry. Okay. I'm using a greaser called Prime Wash by a company named Casco or something like that. So I'm going to focus on half of the roof there. Get it nice and wet. Wipe it. Make sure you're pushing down when you're wiping. Push down, but don't go fast. Because if you go too fast, then you're creating static. You don't want to create static. The reason being for the drying towel is to get the stuff out of the pan. You focus on your next spot. You're going to clean the paper as well. It's very important to clean the paper. Very, very, very important. Dirt in there. Now we're going to flip it, so then I can do the whole roof with 1 rag. Then you do the same thing with this one. You flip it. One of the mistakes that a lot of people do when doing completes like this is they try to get it done so fast, and then that's when you run into problems because you're rushing and you're missing stuff, right? So that's why it's very important for you to just kind of slow down to be able to speed up. So by slowing down, you pay more attention, you're able to move faster, because you don't have to redo stuff, or you don't have to be sanding out stuff out of the base or anything like that. So as you can tell, I'm wiping slow because I don't want static to get built up. I mean, the car's going to have static regardless, but it helps. I'm going to wash the paper here, just like that. Once I get this paper washed, then I'm going to get a new rag. Okay, because this one's done. Next, we're going to do the trunk. Now, I don't have a particular reason. I don't have a particular reason on why I do the roof first and then the trunk, but I kind of like it because it just helps me to, if you do something similar consistently, then you're able to kind of, if something goes wrong, you're able to trace your steps back. You're able to say, okay, well, this is usually how I do it. I have to see what happened. I have to see where it went wrong. That way you can do it. You can tell I'm washing the paper. This is very important. I used to underestimate the power of washing the paper. And now I don't do any job whatsoever without washing the paper. It's extremely important. So a little tip, always get in here, in the back. Always get in there, all these little things, all these little cracks. Make sure that you get in your paper in there. Now I'm just going to work my way that way. I'm going to work my way that way now. This thing's still good. So I'm going to do the whole quarter panel. Up to there. Wipe it, putting a little bit of pressure just to make sure that if anything's sitting on top, you're gonna get it out. Very, very, very important. And also, one of the key things about washing a car is that then you can see certain spots. So if you see, the chips will come up, all kinds of stuff will come up. All right. So you see, I'm doing one panel at a time. I'm going to flip. This is very important because all the stuff that's on there, it's now on here. So once you flip it, then you have a fresh start. Wash the paper. Always, 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 always wash the paper. You will thank me later. All right. This video is obviously going to be long, but I hope that you can see a little bit of what I do, and hopefully it'll be helpful. I mean, that's the point of the videos, right? To help you. So hopefully this will be helpful. Don't forget the red angle there. The best way to look at a panel, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, But for the guys that don't know, the best way to look at a panel when you're washing it, you kind of go a little bit on an angle. Because that way you get a reflection of the booth lights, and then you'll be able to tell if there's anything funky going on. I'm going to go do the other side. Same thing. Put enough on that you cover the whole panel. And then start wiping away, baby. Over that paper. Sometimes people are just like too rushed to put some paint on it. But what they don't realize is that you just want to go and put paint on it, and you're going to have a lot of problems with the stuff underneath the paint. That's very important. We have put foam tape inside the holes of the handle there, so that will equal to a cleaner paint job. Talk all the time or else I'll bore you, so I want to give you some time for you to process what I'm saying, and I think it'll be useful for you guys to take notes. So it's good to take notes. This color is 475, which is a metallic black from BMW. Fairly easy color to spray. So most likely you're going to do one light coat over the whole thing, then 2 medium wet coats and a control coat. And that'll be all. Now, because this is a black car, and only because it's a black car and a dark color, I'm going to be spraying at 85 degrees. So it's going to be a little harder than usual. Usually I do at 75, especially if it's a silver. Alright. Now we'll blow and tap. First thing I'm going to do is blow myself off really well. While I blow myself, I would like you to think about ordering a hoodie to support the channel. That would mean the world to me. It's in the link below from Sunfrog. You have a beard? Very important. If you have noticed, I am not wearing any gloves now, and I'm going to show you why. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. I'm going to do the other side now. So as you can tell, I work my way from the top, then working my way from the back to the front. I want to get rid of everything and throw it to the front. Very important as you're going as well, make sure you're blowing yourself up. Okay. Alright. So, I've blown it, I washed it, I tack it, blown it again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just go over it with my clean hands, okay? Clean hands. I just washed it now, before I started blowing. And then I'm going to blow, and I'm going to basically just do a sweeping motion with my bare hands, okay? Now, before you guys hang me, my hands are clean, okay? So, don't try this at home. I do it, and it works. It might not work for you. Don't try it. Don't do it. The reason why I do that is because sometimes you don't feel everything. You got gloves on, you don't feel anything, and it's difficult. So this way, you can make sure that it's all smooth. There's no overspray from primer or anything like that. We're gonna go into the mixing room. I got my my paint being mixed. We're going to mix it up, reduce it, and strain it. Paint's mixed. I mixed 40 ounces. And I'm going to reduce it at 30%. So I'm doing the whole car, and I'm doing 2 bumpers and a rocker as well. So I might not even have enough paint. This is very, very, very important that you stir it out properly, especially when you're mixing such a big amount. I want to make sure that everything is mixed up. My favorite word, nicely. I'm going to mix this for about 2 minutes, so I won't bore you with that. Put it in 2 big cups, PPS cups. One of them I'll fill all the way, the other one's probably going to be halfway, but I know you guys, if you haven't seen a video of how I do this, I'll post it up there in the, every time on my videos, guys, I recommend you click on the little eye at the top of the window of this video. There's a lot of useful stuff I put on there for you guys and girls. So there, that fits in there nice. That way you'll be able to get that cup completely full without the paint in here. This one won't matter because it's only going to be halfway. Okay. Here we go. Now this is very, very, very well mixed. That's what you want. I'm gonna just kink it up like that so it can breathe, or else nothing will flow. That should be good for that, and then we're just gonna pour the rest in here. Scrape it up nice. Boom. Filled. Check it out. Nice. All the way to the rim. And then just take a rag, wipe this so it doesn't get built up, and then it won't fit in the cups. And you just hang it. Next thing I do, just lift this up. Oh, look at that. We almost got 2 full cups. I forgot to reduce it to 30%. Got all the stuff in there. Bunch of crap there that we don't want in our paint. Alright, that's it. Throw this out. Lids. I haven't gotten the new PPS yet. It's out of my control. But I can't wait to try them out. All right. 1.3 tip on the SATA Tecna. Never. That would never happen. Tecna basecoat gun with the HV20 cap, which is HVOP. Amazing gun. One of my favorite guns. If you want to know a little bit more about this gun and how I set it up, check out the video, like I said, in the little eye, and you see a little more of that. But cleaned up. I'm gonna use the one that's not full first. That way I can use that up and then finish it off with the big one. Right? Let's go. I want to start at the roof. Right? Go around to the other side of the roof. Then I'm going to do my trunk lid, and then we'll see what happens. So, I wanted to, so it's been 40 minutes, okay? So, 40 minutes of prepping this car before I even put an ounce of paint on it. So just think about that. That's once it was prepped already, it was already in the booth. So just 40 minutes of cleaning, mixing paint, stuff like that, right? I put my hose behind my head, like like that, so it doesn't rub against the car. Make sure your hose is clean. Spraying at 18 psi.
Alright, I wanted to jump in here and just give you a little bit of commentary just to fill in the gaps, to make sure that what I am seeing is understood with what you're seeing. I want you to get as much value as possible with this video, and that's why I wanted to just jump in here and give you a little bit more insight of what I'm doing. So I started in the middle there, and I'm putting a light coat. I'm not putting a super heavy coat. I'm making sure that so when you put on a light coat, that's the way I do it anyways, and it works for me. Like I always tell you, everybody, you know, whatever works for you works for you. I just show you what works for me, and I like it that way because I'm able to, you know, just keep doing what works for me. So anyways, with that being said, I am obviously I started in the middle, worked my way out, and then I did the S panel there, the roof rail panel there, and then I did the trunk. So now I'm gonna keep going on the side of the vehicle. So I'm doing a light coat just to get some paint on there. Sometimes I notice, like I mentioned in the past, that when I do a first coat too heavy. Oh, wait a minute, Knucklehead's gonna talk.
I'm gonna put a light coat on here just to neutralize any dust.
Wow, look at that. Good advice, my friend. Yeah, so I put on a little bit of paint on the paper itself because I've noticed that that keeps a lot of the dust down. If there's anything floating there, if there's anything just sitting around there, it helps a lot to just maintain it there and just neutralize everything. I can't find another word to say that, but just to neutralize it, to kind of settle it down, just get it. If there's anything loose there, it's going to be stuck underneath the base, right? Ideally, you don't want any of that, but you know, we don't live in a perfect world, and not everything goes as we plan. So, yeah. So, as you can tell, I am going at the bottom there a little bit more, obviously.
Always go farther down than you think.
I didn't know if you could hear that, so I mentioned it again. Go down farther than you think, alright? That helps a lot. And as you can tell here, I'm going to go, I go a little bit past the hood. Like I always say, always paint off the panel. It's very, very, very important, okay? For all you guys there that are just beginning to paint, always remember that. Always paint off the panel. Don't go a mile off the panel, of course, but as you can see, it's about a foot almost. Now they go off the panel there. It helps to neutralize dust. Some people would say that's a waste of paint, but to me, that's an amazing way to save time in polishing, because if there's any dust there, you're neutralizing it, you're just holding it down. Now you got less dust. Alright? So that's 5 minutes.
This is a light coat.
This is a light coat, so it will flash off really quick. So I'm using a Welcome blower, and I've been trying them out for about 2 weeks now. No, more than that actually. Actually no, 2 weeks. A little more than that. Yeah, like about 3 or a month. Ever since SEMA, anyways. I grabbed it, and I've been trying it out, and I'm loving this blower, guys and girls. I literally I swear by this blowers now. I'm going to be selling them very, very, very soon. So please keep an eye out for that, because I want to get this in a lot of you guys' hands, because I know you're gonna get a lot of value at it. It will literally speed everything up.
I'm gonna start again. By the time I get to the hood, we'll be ready to go. Let's go for a ride. We're gonna do the same thing It's all dry, so it doesn't matter which side you start now. This coat is going to be on heavier when I get covered. Kind of hard for me. I'm like 5'6" or something like that. So I'm like super short. So it's hard for me to get this, the hoods and the roofs. But I managed somehow. See how I'm going over there? Okay, my SD card got full in the middle of spraying. No idea where it stopped, but I just put a new SD card. This one shouldn't run out. So I did the roof. This is the second coat of base. Did the roof. Now I'm coming along here. Obviously you can see how far I'm going up and how far I went down from the roof. Make sure you get clean jobs.
Really sucks when in the middle of filming your SD card gets full. So anyways, we keep going. Make sure you get paint underneath there, right? I mean, most cars have that underneath there on the trunk plate, so make sure you get base under there. Okay? Make sure you get base on the wheel well. Gotta get paint in there. Also, if there's any dust in there or anything like that, the paint's gonna help neutralize it and keep it stuck underneath there. But obviously, in the perfect world, you don't want that. So as you can see, I'm putting on the second coat a little bit heavier. I want to make sure I get some good coverage on there. And that way, you know, you're not going to be redoing anything. You make sure you get coverage, then you won't redo anything because there's nothing showing through primer spots and stuff like that. This car has a little bit of stone chips along the side, and so we took care of those. Always keep consistent with everything that you do, because that way you are able to, if something goes wrong, you're able to fix it.
I knew it was going to need more paint. I'm going to mix more paint now while I'm spraying. So this is the cool thing about this Asset Vito's machine. Do that.
If you want to see a little demo of this little machine, then you can click. I'll put it there on the side, and there'll be one of the videos there featured.
Grab a cup. Put it in there. Short lines up. And then boom. And I can keep spraying, which is kind of cool.
The reason why I mix more paint is because there's all those parts there on the left. It's all for this car, so I know I'm gonna need all of it.
We continue on the front door there.
I like to panel paint. I don't know. A lot of people don't like doing that, but I feel like I can keep it more consistent with the way that I spray. I don't know. It just works for me.
Always go farther than you think. Always go farther than you think.
So now that I've done the roof and the whole side there, and I came up to the fender there, on the top of the fender, and I'm gonna continue here. I like the way that works, because you're gonna lose it there, and you put, I don't know how to explain it, but you put on your second coat a little bit wet enough so that you're able to do this, and that way you keep kind of working your way to the front of the car. And that's going to enable you to get a more uniform pattern, more uniform spray. that's the way that I've done it. I mean, I could be wrong, but it works really well, and I hope that you can see the results from what I'm trying to teach you here.
This is very important because I just hit the bottom there, the floor, so you gotta make sure it's clean.
That's something that sometimes, you know, you forget because you're just going and trying to get it done.
It's the fun part!
And yes, here comes the fun part. I'm a short person. I think I'm like 5'5" or 5'6" or something like that. But I'm pretty short, so it's hard for me to get all this hood. But now I'll get that wet edge on the other side of the fender, and it's gonna turn out for a nice even spray, a consistent spray all throughout the car.
That's why my back is so messed up, probably.
Another thing I want you to notice is the way that I'm holding my gun. Because I'm such a short person, I need to kind of like barely holding it. So I'm holding it with my index finger, and then I'm triggering with my naughty finger. And that way I'm able to reach all the way and kind of keep it consistent. If you try to get a full grip on that gun, you won't be able to do it properly, and you're gonna start arcing your gun, and you're gonna start angling it in the wrong direction, because you want to keep it straight. You want to make sure you're as much as a robot as possible.
I'm going to turn the temperature down. $75. Temperature down to 75. Now, I don't want to leave this car until I'm ready for clear, because I want to focus on this car. I want to give it my full attention so I can turn up good. Oh, check that out. Piece of hair. Not sure where it came from, but it's an easy fix. I'll show you how to fix that. We have to catch that up. Got a piece of 1000. There's the hair right there. Just want to lightly looks like it was in the first coat of base because it's deep in there. I always like to keep switching sides so you get a fresh start every time. Almost gone. All right, it's good. Now you can go over the whole thing if you like. See if there's anything major. Anything big nits, but that seems to be good. Anyways, going to blow myself off and then go on the third coat.
So after you're done sanding on the car, you want to really make sure you're blowing this thing off properly, because somehow that sanding goes everywhere. So I'm even blowing my tack cloth because I want to make sure that nothing going to go on the rest of the car. It's super important. I'm not going to tack the whole thing off, but just kind of the general area where you sand it, you want to make sure you blow it.
This is where you have to be a little extra careful. Put a little bit of base on there, flash it off real quick, put another little base to get it up to speed. Very light coats. Very light coats.
If you don't put it on light, you're gonna run into problems. Might get, it might swell a little bit or stuff like that. So you want to make sure you take your time.
All right, that should be good. Okay, here we go again. Third coat. Similar to the second coat, but just a little bit lighter. We got this color covers pretty fast, so we don't need to put too much on there. Beautiful. Alright, so I'm doing like 90% trigger. There we go. We're going to let that flash off. We're going to go get more paint. There's about that much left here. But I want to make sure I have enough to do one control coat, and that's it. Alright. I'm going to put a control coat over everything. With this gun, you want to do it at about 15 psi, or leave it at the same. Won't make a huge difference with this gun. Here we go.
So you see how I started with my little tricky grip there, right? I don't have a full grip, my hand completely around it. I have just my fingers, and that basically allows me to have a consistent spray pattern. So as you can see, I'm not putting the the control coat on too heavy. Just want to put it on evenly. This color obviously is a lot more forgiving than if I was spraying a silver. So silver I would probably be putting 4 coats on and a double control coat. But because this color is great, it's a great color, it's easy to spray. I put 2 coats on, and then a third coat, and then a control coat. So it's super easy, no problems here. Always keep the pattern consistent, especially when doing a control coat. This can help a lot to get rid of tiger striping and all that stuff, even though tiger striping sometimes costs because you don't have enough color.
Awesome. Let that flash for 10 minutes. We're ready to go with some clear. All right. I am using EC550. I did a review on this. You can check it out again in the little eye. I've let this flash out for 15 minutes. So it took about 50 minutes for the base process. Now I let it flash out for 15 before I clear it. I'm going to put 2 medium wet coats. First one, I'm going to put it on the way I want it to look, just a little bit drier though. And then the second one, I'm going to put it on a little bit heavier. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about the clear coat and what I've noticed since I've made that review. Now, What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the front first. Listen, this is for the first coat, okay? The front first, then I'm going to do the roof, then the sides, finish off at the gate, and then on the second coat, I'm going to do it reversed. And the reason being is because I want whatever overspray that's going to come from from when I do the roof, I want it to melt into the existing clear coat. Because sometimes if you do the roof first, then it doesn't melt into the base properly, and then you have seediness and all bunch of stuff like that. .35 psi, WS 400, and we're rocking.
So the more I use this clear, the more I like it. I'm really happy with this clear coat. It's a ET550 from PPG. And when it comes to like a big job like this, I always use ET550 just because it makes for a beautiful paint job, really. And I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So check out the way that I'm spraying. Always look at what the gun is doing. I always tell you, be as much of a robot as you possibly can. So I am keeping the consistent spray distance, right? So 6-8 inches or so.
That's a heavy.
What a wuss. But no, that was really heavy. The pain going through my arm, not good. Just in case you're wondering, because I know that, you know, some people are out to get me sometimes, and that's okay. We did take off the antenna. It's just the remainder of it. So it's kind of like a mirror cover. You know, you can take off the cap, and then there's stuff inside. And we did the same thing with the antenna there. We took off the cover of the antenna, and then we taped up the rest. So stay consistent. That is the biggest tip here. Stay consistent. You see how I'm letting go of the trigger? Let go. Let go. Let go. Right? That's going to allow you to not have buildup on the edges of your paint job. That's super, super, super important. A lot of people would walk it like what we were talking about earlier, but for me, I feel like I have more control when I am the one letting go of the trigger, when I'm the one trying to keep it consistent. Because when I walk, I wobble a lot, and then, you know, it's you know, I'm walking around and I'm singing that song, you know, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, and then you're not gonna get a very even pattern if you're singing wobble baby. So that's why I don't walk my jobs. I just do panel by panel, and it works for me. So as you can tell now, I did the whole the front, right? So now the overspray that I am creating from spraying right now, it's not going to sit on top of the base, right? It's going to melt into the existing clear that I put on there. So that's what I've noticed, and that's the reason why I'll do the front first and the first coat, and then I'll do the front last on the second coat of clear. And I always put 2 coats of clear. That's what PPG recommends, 2 coats of clear. I don't put 3 coats of clear because it just doesn't need it unless we're going to cut and polish the whole job and we don't do much of that. Like I said, it's a production shop, like I told you in many of my videos. It's a production shop, and we just put the cars back to manufacturer specifications, and that's the way that we do it, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I've been working bus collision now for 11 years, according to LinkedIn. So those are 11 paid years. It doesn't count the years I did in co-op working for free, you know, doing all the stuff that nobody wants to do. So there we go. Ran out of clear, putting another one on. And obviously, I'm putting this stuff, I'm leaving the stuff inside the booth, so that way I don't have to be coming in and out, in and out. Same thing with the base. You know, you try to just kind of keep it in there. Make sure, see how I'm twisting my gun there? If you try to just keep your gun the way I'm doing it now and spray up, it won't work. You have to twist the gun. First coat of clear, done.
8 minutes later, set the timer for 10 minutes. I usually put it for 15 minutes, but because it's been a while, obviously once you get through the whole car, time already has elapsed. So we're going to let it pass for 10 minutes, so we'll come back, put another coat on. Alright? I'm going to mix a little bit more clear. So I used 30 ounces, and then I ran out and finished up the trunk. So I'm going to need another 30 ounces, actually another 20 ounces, because the second coat's going to be a little heavier. Alright, 12 minutes have passed. The front is really fast off, but I'm going to start off from the back, work my way to the front of the car.
So second coat, see the angle on my gun, you'll see how it changes right about now. See that? So the gun's facing you, the side of the gun. And that's going to allow you to get very good coverage in there and paint. So now I'll work my way from the back of the car, from the back of the vehicle to the front of the vehicle. And that's the way that it works for me, like I always tell you guys. Second coat of clear, I'm putting it on a little bit heavier. I want to put it on the way that I want it to look, alright? Because this clear coat doesn't flow as much, but it just lays down beautifully, and the shine of the 550 is just gorgeous. make sure you be careful. If you have to tape your stomach up, tape your stomach up so you don't, you're not touching the panels when you're trying to reach the roofs and you're trying to reach across on the hood. It's very important. So I'm putting the second coat on heavier, you can see. I want you to notice here, look at the grip of my gun. It's complete. The grip is complete. It's a complete grip. Now, you see how I switched it there? Now I switched it to the grip that is going to allow me to get to the middle of that hood because I'm such a short person. But that grip is going to allow you to get to the middle of that hood. And I'm spraying at 35 psi. And for this gun, the WS400, I did a review on it. You can check the link out. You have so many videos that could help you here. And I hope they do. I really hope they do. That's the whole reason why I made this video, to try to help as many painters as possible. Because I found myself, going through some problems in painting and stuff like that. And if I could find solutions to problems that I was going through, then maybe the possibilities are that there's a lot of painters going through the same thing. So now we got back to painting. Now we got a beautiful substrate now, because I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. It's not working out very well. But what I'm trying to tell you is that now, since we did the first coat from the front to the back, then we do the second coat from the back to the front. Now we get a beautiful finish all throughout the vehicle. And with EC550, it takes a little bit to close, so then the overspray will not affect the rest of the car. So you will not find a dry edge or anything like that on this vehicle. Alright. Beautiful. No dry spots. I noticed a little tiny piece of lint here. And I'm gonna take it out. Beautiful. See it there? That's it. That'll flow out nice. So I'm going to leave this now for 10 minutes. So that's 20 minutes that I did the clearing. So I'm going to let this flash off for 10 minutes. And then I'll put it on bake. Looks really good. I'm happy with it. Very happy with it. And this is EC550, like I said. Guys and girls, I am so grateful that you've been watching. 10 minutes have gone by. I'm going to put bake it and I'm going to make for 30 minutes at 172 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so 172 Fahrenheit, 30 minutes, booth off. And we want I have the air system at the top, but I want that off. I want pure heat just to be there and not so much air movement. I want, for this particular cure, EC550, that's the way it likes. 10 minutes flash off, and then you bake it for 30 minutes at 172 degrees. And this will purge for about 3 to 5 minutes. So an equal total time of flash off for 15 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes at 172. Still a tiny bit tacky, but it's still hot, so it's okay. And we're not going to put this together anytime soon, but it looks good. A couple nibs, few nibs, one there I saw, another one in the hood there. But other than that, it's clean. This thing came out very, very clean. Super happy with it. If I get a chance, I'll show you guys the polishing procedure on this, but I'm not sure if I will. But looks great. I like it. I'm very happy with it. What is up, everybody? I wanted to thank you for watching this video. Number one, I love you and I appreciate you. Number two, you're awesome for watching this whole entire video. I know it was long, but I hope that you got a lot of value from it, okay? I put my heart and soul into these videos, and I hope that they mean a lot to you as well. Third thing, man! I just was in the Caribbean, so I guess I'm talking like that now. Anyways, I wanted to, am I even recording? No, I'm not recording. That's great. Alright, turns out I was recording. 13? No, what? Yeah, 13. Third thing. I wanted to make sure that you go to the link below and you get some merchandise. Try to get it before the end of the week because they might not be able to deliver you by Christmas. So I had to use this third-party company to do the merchandise because I wasn't able to just keep up with going to the post office every day and craziness like that. It was nuts. But anyways, guys, I love you, and Merry Christmas to all of you. Obviously I'm going to make more videos. I'm going to continue to make more videos, and I will try my best to make more videos. And if you like this video, please like it. Please like it if you're even watching anymore. To all you 3 watching out there, I love you so much. Thank you. Like this video, comment below, tell me what your thoughts are. If you have anything negative to say, just spit it out if you want, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, love you. Peace. Bye.